In the quaint town of Maplewood, nestled in the southern United States, a 10-year-old girl named Zuri Carter faced a life-altering tragedy. After losing her parents in a devastating car accident, she was sent to live with her aunt, Margaret, a woman whose heart was as cold as the winter winds that swept through the town. Margaret's house, a once vibrant home, now stood as a stark reminder of Zuri's loss. Filled with silence and resentment on the morning of her birthday, Zuri awoke from a dream where her parents were alive, their laughter echoing in her ears. But reality hit hard when Margaret, in a fit of rage over a pink dress Zuri dared to wear, shaved her head. The act was not just cruel. It was a declaration control, a way to strip Zuri of her identity. As the clippers buzzed, Zuri felt pieces of herself being torn away, each lock of hair a memory of her mother's gentle touch. Days turned into weeks, and Zuri became a ghost in her own life, invisible to her aunt and her cousin, Jake, who found joy in mocking her. But in the shadows of despair, a flicker of hope emerged. Mr. Thompson, their kind neighbor, noticed Zuri's plight. He saw the spark in her eyes, the intelligence that lay beneath the surface, and he decided to intervene. Mr. Thompson transformed his home into a sanctuary for children like Zuri, offering lessons in a makeshift classroom filled with books and warmth. He had once been a respected teacher before retiring, and he missed the joy of nurturing young minds. Zuri found solace in his presence, and slowly, she began to reclaim her voice. She studied diligently, her hunger for knowledge igniting a fire within her. With Mr. Thompson's guidance, she excelled in her studies, earning a scholarship to Maplewood Academy, a prestigious private school. As Zuri flourished academically, Margaret remained oblivious, consumed by her own bitterness. She reveled in the idea that Jake would be the one to shine, unaware that Zuri was quietly rising from the ashes of her past. The day the acceptance letter arrived, Margaret's world was turned upside down. She had always dismissed Zuri as a burden, but now, the girl she had tried to erase was on the brink of a new beginning. The confrontation was inevitable. Zuri stood before Margaret, the acceptance letter clutched tightly in her hand. "This is mine," she declared, her voice steady and unwavering. Margaret's laughter was brittle, filled with disbelief. "You don't even go to school," she scoffed. But Mr. Thompson stepped forward, his presence commanding respect. "Zuri has been enrolled for years. She's earned this." The truth hung in the air, heavy and undeniable. Margaret's facade began to crack as she read the name on the letter, Zuri Carter. The realization hit her like a tidal wave, and for the first time, she saw Zuri not as a burden but as a young woman who had fought against the odds. In that moment, Zuri felt a surge of empowerment. "I worked hard for this," she said, her voice rising above the chaos of emotions. "You tried to make me small, but I've grown." Margaret's defenses crumbled, and for the first time, she acknowledged her mistakes. "I was wrong," she admitted, her voice trembling. "I didn't see you for who you were." Zuri took a step back, her heart pounding. "You don't need my forgiveness, but I'm giving it to you anyway," she said softly. "I won't carry your burdens with me. I have too much ahead of me." With that, she turned away, leaving Margaret to grapple with the weight of her actions. As the seasons changed, so did Zuri. She embraced her new life at Maplewood Academy, where she excelled in her studies and made friends who uplifted her. Among them was a girl named Lila, who had a passion for art and a heart of gold. They quickly became inseparable, sharing dreams of the future and supporting each other through challenges. That Zuri's passion for advocacy grew, fueled by her own experiences. She became involved in student government, using her voice to champion causes that mattered to her peers. She organized events to raise awareness about bullying and mental health, drawing from her own struggles to inspire others. Years later, as Zuri stood on the stage at her graduation, she felt the weight of her journey. The sun shone brightly over Maplewood, illuminating the faces of her friends and family. Mr. Thompson sat in the front row, pride radiating from him as he watched the girl he had nurtured blossom into a confident young woman. Zuri delivered a heartfelt speech, sharing her story of resilience and the importance of kindness. After graduation, Zuri received a full scholarship to a prestigious university, where she pursued a degree in social work. Her passion for helping others only grew stronger, and she became a voice for the voiceless, fighting for children who had been overlooked and forgotten. As Zuri navigated her college years, she often reflected on her past. She kept the pink dress her mother had sewn for her, a symbol of her journey and the love that had once surrounded her. It served as a reminder where she came from and the strength she found within herself. One day, while volunteering at a local shelter, Zuri met a young girl named Mia, who reminded her of herself at that age. Mia had faced her own hardships, and Zuri felt an instant connection. She took Mia under her wing, mentoring her and providing the support she had once longed for. Together, they worked on projects to empower other children in similar situations, creating a ripple effect of change in their community. As Zuri's reputation grew, so did her impact. She began to speak at conferences, sharing her story and advocating for policies that would protect vulnerable children. Her voice resonated with many, and she became a sought-after speaker, inspiring others to take action. But the past was never far behind. One day, Margaret reached out to Zuri, asking for a meeting. Zuri hesitated but ultimately agreed, curious about what her aunt had to say. When they met, Margaret looked older, her face etched with regret. "I've been thinking a lot about the past," she began, her voice shaky. "I was wrong to treat you the way I did. I didn't see you for who you were." Zuri listened, her heart conflicted. "You hurt me, Margaret," she replied, her voice steady. "But I've learned to rise above that." Margaret nodded, tears in her eyes. "I want to make amends. I want to help you in any way I can." Zuri took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the moment. "I appreciate that, but I've moved on. I want to focus on the future." Margaret looked down, her hands trembling. "I understand. I just want you to know that I'm proud of you." With that, Zuri felt a sense of closure. She had broken the cycle of pain and resentment, choosing instead to embrace forgiveness and hope. As she walked away from the meeting, she felt lighter, ready to continue her journey of advocacy and empowerment. Years passed, and Zuri became a well-respected social worker known for her dedication to helping children in need. She opened a community center in Maplewood, providing resources and support for families facing hardships. The center became a safe haven for children, offering tutoring, counseling, and mentorship programs. One day, while working at the center, Zuri received a letter from the State University, inviting her to speak at their annual conference on child advocacy. She was honored and excited to share her story with a larger audience. As she prepared her speech, she reflected on her journey, the challenges she had overcome, and the lives she had touched. On the day of the conference, Zuri stood before a packed auditorium, her heart racing with anticipation. She shared her story, the struggles she faced, and the importance of resilience and compassion. The audience was captivated, and Zuri felt a sense of purpose wash over her. After her speech, Zuri was approached by a young woman named Clara, who had been inspired by Zuri's journey. "I want to help children too," Clara said, her eyes shining with determination. Zuri smiled, feeling a sense of pride in the next generation of advocates. "Together, we can make a difference," she replied as Zuri continued her work. She never forgot the lessons of her past. She remained committed to empowering others, ensuring that no child would ever feel invisible again. Her story became a beacon of hope, proving that even in the darkest of times, one could rise from the ashes and create a life filled with purpose and love. And as she stood before a crowd, sharing her message of resilience, she knew that her parents were watching over her, proud of the woman she had become. In the heart of Maplewood, Zuri Carter had transformed her pain into power, and her story would echo through the generations, a testament to the strength of the human spirit.